Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello everybody! Today we are in Périgueux and we are in front of the Musée du Périgord.
Let's go inside. Welcome to Stone Age Science. We are scientists investigating information encoding from the earliest science in the Paleolithic to the modern day information age. We take you with us on our journey to museums and universities, examining the mobile artifacts in their originals to understand the science of the Stone Age. I arrived in Paris right now for the first time in my life, but I'm not going to be here for long because I need to catch a train at Montparnasse to Périgueux. That's where Eva is already waiting for me. But before we go to Périgueux, I will show you some footage from Bordeaux because this is where Eva was the last week to study some artifacts. In Bordeaux, Eva visited the Musée d'Aquitaine, and she was hosted by Vincent Mistrot, who is an expert for the finds from this particular area around Bordeaux and the Dordogne more generally. And one of the most famous sites from this area is Grotte pendant. This was excavated in the late 19th century by François Daleau, and he discovered also the cave art almost by coincidence on the walls.
Donc François Daleau a tenu des carnets pendant toute sa vie pour dire tout ce qu'il faisait au jour le jour. Et donc il va décrire et notamment dessiner parfois les objets archéologiques qu'il a dans sa collection. Et on sait exactement ce qu'il fait à quel jour dans sa grotte. On a la page du 31 août 1896 où il raconte comment il découvre la première gravure de la grotte de Périgord. Et à partir de cette gravure-là, il va regarder la totalité des parois de la grotte pour retrouver d'autres gravures. Ici, un petit chamois. Donc on a aussi les objets qu'il retrouve dans sa fouille archéologique. Ici, c'est une dent de loup percée. Et cette découverte, il l'a fait tout à fait par hasard, puisqu'il approche la lampe de la paroi et les ombres font ressortir le cheval. Donc ça, c'est une pièce qui a été trouvée en plus en deux morceaux, en deux parties. Alors les deux morceaux ne collent pas exactement, mais c'est exactement le même os, c'est exactement le même décor, donc très probablement la même pièce cassée en deux, et trouvée à deux périodes différentes de fouilles. Puisque François Daleau va fouiller la grotte pendant plus de 20 ans. C'est vraiment du travail de longue haleine. De Mortillet.
Oh,
là en 1887.
Oh, il a écrit quelque chose.
J'ai fait avec mon ami Daleau l'Assomption la plus intéressante dans le Paléolithique, soit à la grotte de Père-non-Père qu'il a admirablement fouillée, soit dans sa remarquable collection.
This is the rib of a large herbivore,
and it is covered all over in notches. So here we see a first line. You see there are even 3 different types of production of these notches. We have these ones smaller and very regular. Then we have this part that is a little bit more narrow, and here another part that shows this very deeply incised notches. When we turn the object around, we have even more markings on this side. We have markings on this side and very, very fine incisions also on the inner part of this rib. These notched or decorated ribs are very particular for the Gravettian period, and archaeologists still don't know what they were used for, because the rib has not been transformed into a particular tool. It's more or less in its raw state and covered in notches.
After Bordeaux, Eva traveled on to Périgueux, and this is where we met to work together at the Musée d'art et d'archaeologie du Périgord. Here we met with Isabelle Maleyre. She's the collection manager at the Musée du Périgord, and in this museum it's not only about the Paleolithic but about different time periods of art history, also modern art, and they have different halls held in different colors for the different centuries of art history. Of course, what we are most interested in is the prehistoric collection. There are some famous finds from the area around Périgueux and also the Dordogne more generally, like for instance this so-called disc or rondelle, which has been argued to be one of the first instances of an animation, because you can put a thread through the hole in the middle and then you can animate it with the thread. By the way, this comes from Logerie, and we visited this site in our video on Les Essais de Taillac part 1. The most important local site just outside of Périgueux is the Abri de Raymonden, which is in Chancelade, and from there you have, for instance, this pendant with a bison on it, sometimes argued to represent a hunting scene where different humans are involved, and also abstract signs. Chancelade is also famous for the so-called Homme de Chancelade, which was discovered by Michel Hardy and Maurice Féot in the late 19th century, and which is dated to around 18,000 to 18,500 years ago, so the early Magdalenian period. And here you see the first definite proof that these people in the Magdalenian already had writing.
C'est le premier catalogue édité de préhistoire de 1905 et c'est l'époque où a été créé à Périgueux le premier congrès de préhistoire en 1905 aussi.
At this relatively short trip to Périgueux, we did not even attempt to face this wall of drawers in the study room, but we focused on the finds in the showcases, which were removed for us so that Eva could study them under the microscope. We were joined also by Céline Dumas, who is the co-director of the museum. She was interested to discuss some of the artifacts with us and to see our workflow.
Là, on voit bien que c'est artistique, presque. Oui, c'est ça. Là, il n'y a pas de doute.
Les marques ici. Et ça, j'avais même pas vu. Je peux vous montrer, on voit bien sur le...
On voit que c'est régulier, c'est ça?
The artifacts here in the museum come mainly from layers of the Magdalenian, and really for the Magdalenian period you can tell how something noticeably changed compared to the earlier periods. We cannot put our finger on it right now, but it seems clear that once we have collected the data, you can really tell a difference. Like for instance, on this artifact, we have a complex sign type in the middle surrounded by these notches. Or in this case, where again you have this complex sign type in the middle, which Eva jokingly termed the pineapple sign. Unfortunately, we had to leave after just a short trip. Hopefully we can return to Périgueux, to this beautiful museum, to study the rest of the artifacts. On the way back, we tried to find the Abri in Chancelade, but we failed miserably. Yeah, we are at the end of 2025. It was an amazing year. First Vienna and Mistelbach.
Then we went to Western Germany, the Rhine Valley.
Western Germany.
No, before we went to Munich and Erlangen.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Then
Visited some of the caves.
Yeah, we were in Western Germany, visited also some of the sites there. And now, the last trip for 2025, Southwest France.
Man, France was just absolutely amazing.
Yes, and there's so much here. So we spent here almost 7 weeks.
Yeah.
We did not even scratch the surface of what is possible to study here. So yeah, we will be back.
Yes, we will be back. And now we go back to Germany.
Yeah,
Say
and
au revoir.
start also 2026, which will be hopefully as an amazing year as this year, with many new destinations, new museums, new sites, new friends, and new videos from us.
See you in 2026. One Paleolithic site we did visit on this trip. On the way back, we came through the Dordogne, and here Eva has some fond memories to share.
So here we are in the Bourgogne, and we are at the Grotte du Germolles, a site where I was excavating as a student. And since we came around, let's have a look. klein aus.